One company to watch today as well, as we get closer to the closing bell on Wall Street, is Delta. Delta Airlines. Stocks way up, solid earnings, optimistic outlook. Now, co-founder at Flynn Zito Capital Management joins us. Doug Flynn. So jobs first, Doug. What do you make of this job market?
Yeah, it seems like employers are holding on to their workers a little bit longer. And even though we haven't seen mass layoffs, what I have noticed is that they're making the workers work maybe less hours. They're letting people, if they leave, they leave. And they're using a lot of part-time work. So the unemployment rate went down because they're not doing the mass layoffs. But you are seeing some weakening, even if the numbers aren't really showing it yet around the edges, not the full layoffs that you'd see all the jobless claims really spiking up. And then you do have the longer-term outlook of the people who are unemployed. They're staying unemployed a little bit longer to find another job. So those numbers are ratcheting up to some of the highest numbers we've seen since the end of 2021. So kind of mixed, but not really negative, and not enough for the Fed to do anything, which is where we still sit.
Right. No cut coming, today. What about Delta? So Delta, here's an airline with an impressive quarter, and I thought an optimistic outlook as well. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's funny. They kind of reiterated where they were at the early part of the year. They used the tariff issue in April to say, look, people are not booking, and now they're seeing the booking. But the interesting thing here to me was that it seems like people aren't doing as much planning ahead as they used to. So a lot of the bookings are more short term. They're going to do it. They just book it and go. So a lot of that is what drove the numbers back up for Delta, made them sort of reiterate the positive news that they thought they were going to have. Not quite as positive, but much better than it's been the last 4 or 5 months. And so the market liked that news today.
But you don't think it's like a big, sign of the economy or anything like that? It's just the environment we're in, sort of.
It is. It's the uncertainty that maybe tariffs are going to disrupt. People weren't going to have enough money. They laid off. Now, no one seems to care about tariffs really anymore. So they're back to booking their trips, and they're not waiting 6 or 12 months. They're saying, hey, let's go somewhere next month. Let's book it. Let's go. So they're adjusting to that. That is sort of indicative of where we are right now.
You're right about that. Looks like we'll have another update of the market, even though the president's sending letters to everybody. You might have one in the mail. You'll get higher tariffs. Thank you, Doug. Doug Flynn with us. We'll take a break. Get those